So welcome to a brand new NHL 16 team selection video. So if you saw a few months ago, I tried doing a Carolina Hurricanes GM mode. Did not work out after 2 episodes. I don't even know if I uploaded the second one, but anyway, the reason why that series failed is because my computer had a blue screen of death, wiped out the entire hard drive, had to start fresh, and I don't know what, I didn't want to continue the GM mode with a new save file. So after a few months with not playing NHL 16, I want to do it again just because trade deadline's starting up right now, and there's tons of good trades happening right now, like Ryan Johansson for Seth Jones, and then there's a few other trades. But anyway, doing team selection video, this time it's a little bit different. So of course you see our divisions right here: Atlantic, Metropolitan, Central, Pacific, and then we have all the teams in there. So basically what I'm going to do is going to copy the Atlantic division right here, copy it, put it into this list generator, paste it, randomize the list, and the number one team in the list gets eliminated from the playoffs. So that was just the start, so I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to just go back, but let's get this started. So actually first I'll tell you how it's going to happen. So after the first 4 teams of the Atlantic division are eliminated, we'll be left with 4 teams left. So then we'll do one more list generator until we're down to 3 teams, and the 4th team that is eliminated goes on to the wild card. And as you see, there's the Atlantic and Metro wild cards. So one team from the Atlantic, the 4th team from the Atlantic division will go right here, and the 4th team from the Metropolitan division will go right there. Same with the Central and Pacific. But yeah, and then the top 3 teams from the last 3 teams remaining in the division that haven't been eliminated go on to this round. We just do the same thing over again, except you get eliminated for good. There's no wild cards after this. And then we'll go to the finals, obviously. And yeah, the last team remaining gets me as a GM. So anyway, let's get this started off. So first we're doing the Atlantic division. Let's randomize this. So the first team out is the Montreal Canadiens. They're out. They're gone. Bye-bye Montreal. So we'll put them in red because they're eliminated. Anyway, let's do it again. Second team eliminated is the Ottawa Senators from Ontario. Good thing, because they didn't want to do the Senators or the Montreal Canadiens because they're too good. Well, I guess the Senators aren't good, but you know what I'm saying. Let's try this again. So we got 2 more teams to eliminate, I guess. And the 3rd team gone is the Florida Panthers. Jaromir Jagr, Roberto Luongo, Jonathan Huberdeau, they're gone. They're out of here. So let's make that red. There we go. So we have Boston, Tampa, Detroit, Toronto, and Buffalo left. So we got, okay. So one more team, then we'll go on the wild card. Florida again, twice again. And the Tampa Bay Lightning are eliminated from contention. Damn, I wanted to do that Tampa Bay, but they're out. They're gone. Okay, so we have 4 teams left in the Atlantic division. Obviously, we got Buffalo, Toronto, Boston, and Detroit. Whatever team gets eliminated right here goes on to the wild card, so they're not out for sure. And again, Montreal again. Wait. So again, Ottawa again. This again, Tampa again, Florida, Montreal. There we go, Detroit, finally. So Detroit is now a wildcard team, so pick that pink. Make that hot pink, there we go. So the teams going on to the second round are the Buffalo Sabres, Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Boston Bruins. All pretty good teams that I would probably want to take over. So okay, so let's go on to the next round. So right now we're doing the Metropolitan division, so let's copy that. Copy that for sure. There you go. And then we'll go back. Crap. So let's do the Metropolitan division. Well, the first team eliminated from the Metropolitan division is the Philadelphia Flyers. Claude Giroux. What am I saying? I would mix Scott Hartnell and Claude Giroux. So there's those damn Flyers. You are eliminated. Second team to be eliminated for the Metro division is the Washington Capitals. Number 1 team in the NHL right now. They're hot. Braden Holtby's playing like he's on fire. Do it again. Columbus is eliminated. The worst team in the NHL. Everyone thinks it's Toronto, but they're playing pretty good this year compared to last year and the years before. Even without their MVP, Phil Kessel. He's sucking in Pittsburgh. And the next team eliminated is the Carolina Hurricanes. It says Panthers, but disregard that. Okay, so the next team eliminated will be a wildcard team in the division. So let's see who's the wildcard. The New Jersey Devils. They're a wildcard team. So make that hot pink. Okay, so our top three in the Metropolitan Division is the Pittsburgh Penguins, the New York Rangers, and the New York Islanders. Still two New York teams left, so that's good. I don't know. Let's make those blue. Okay, so we got the Atlantic Division and the Metropolitan Division done. So let's move on to the Central Division. Okay, so the first team eliminated from the Central Division is the Chicago Blackhawks, defending Stanley Cup champions. They're gone. Who knew it? Everyone says that Patrick Kane's guilty for rape. I don't know. I'm not going to say my opinion, but the next team eliminated is the Dallas Stars, second best team in the NHL as of right now, as I'm making this. They're doing pretty good. They got Tyler Seguin, Jimmy Benn. They're okay without my help. Third team eliminated, Dallas Stars. Good to do this again. St. Louis Blues, they're gone. Bye, St. Louis. Apparently, there's some rumors that they could trade Shattenkirk for Duran, but those are rumors from Sportsnet. Next team gone is the Nashville Predators. Wait, never mind. They're a wild card team. I forgot they're 7th. Never mind. Okay, so obviously Nashville has got a new lease on life, and the final 3 teams left in the Central Division are Colorado Avalanche, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Minnesota Wild. So the next team we're obviously doing is the Pacific Division. Let's go test out who's going to be in there for the Pacific. Okay, so who's going to be eliminated from the Pacific Division? Let's see. And the Anaheim Ducks are eliminated from contention. So Anaheim obviously sucks this year. Everyone thought they're going to be good. They just flat out suck. So I'm glad I'm not doing them. Anyway, let's try this again. Who's eliminated? Anaheim again. Try this again. Vancouver Canucks, they're gone. So they just got, I think, Emerson Edom from the Rangers today. So I don't know if that's a good trade or not. I really don't know. I don't really trade Nicholas Jensen, but oh well. Let's see who's eliminated next, though. Who's gonna be eliminated? Anaheim again. Okay, Anaheim's not eliminated 3 times. Do this again. Arizona Coyotes, they're gone too. Max Domi. They got Anthony Duclair. Got a few good guys that I'm sure they don't need my help for. So anyway, obviously the next team is a wildcard team. So let's see who's gonna be wildcard. Los Angeles Kings. There we go. So the Kings are a wildcard team, and that is the end of the first round, I guess. So obviously we have from the Atlantic Division, they got Buffalo Sabres, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Boston Bruins, and our wildcard team in the Atlantic is the Detroit Red Wings. In the Metropolitan Division, we got the Pittsburgh Penguins, New York Rangers, and the New York Islanders, with New Jersey being our wildcard team. In the Central Division, we've got the Colorado Avalanche, the Winnipeg Jets, and Minnesota Wild as our main teams, and the Nashville Predators as our wildcard team. And finally, in the Pacific Division, we've got the Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, and the San Jose Sharks as our main teams, and the Los Angeles Kings as our wildcard team. Okay, so I'm back. I just made this big bracket thing with all the teams on here. So obviously we got the matchup in the East. I don't know why the East's on this side. It doesn't make sense, but I just copied this bracket from Google. But in our first Eastern matchup, we've got the Buffalo Sabres taking on the Detroit Red Wings, one of the wildcard teams. So let's get this started. So obviously I got myself a spinner, as always. Let's spin this. Who will win? Looks like the Buffalo Sabres are moving on to the second round. There they are. Move them up there. Okay, so our next matchup in the East is the Boston Bruins versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. We all saw how the Maple Leafs collapsed in Game 7, so let's see if that happens again. Looks like the Toronto Maple Leafs are moving on to the second round. They're not choking this time. So you got our first Eastern Conference matchup right here. Or, what is it, semis? Yeah, semis. But our next matchup in the quarterfinals in the East is the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the New Jersey Devils. Let's check this out. Pittsburgh Penguins are moving on to the second round. I knew it. My money was on them. Next matchup in the East is the New York Rangers versus the New York Islanders. Battle of New York. Who will win? Looks like the Rangers are moving on to the second round. So right now I'm gonna move on to the Western Conference. I don't know why it's on this side again, but that's just how the bracket was made on Google. So our first matchup in the West is the Winnipeg Jets versus the LA Kings. Looks like the LA Kings are moving on to the second round. There we go, LA. Our next matchup in the West is the Colorado Avalanche versus the Minnesota Wild. Can't talk today. Can't talk. Looks like the Minnesota Wild are moving on to the second round. So we got LA and Minnesota taking on each other in the semis. Next quarterfinal matchup in the West is the Calgary Flames versus the Nashville Predators. Nashville just got Ryan Johansson, who will win. Looks like the Calgary Flames are moving on to the second round. Ooh, crap. There you go. I'm using Photoshop if you're wondering. Okay, so our last matchup in the Western Conference is the Edmonton Oilers versus the San Jose Sharks. I really don't want to do Edmonton. Please, San Jose win. Oh, and the Edmonton Oilers move on to the second round. Battle of Alberta. It's brewing. So we'll flip back to the East. Our first matchup in the semis in the East is the Buffalo Sabres versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. It looks like the Maple Leafs are moving on to the conference finals. It's getting good in here. Okay, there we go. And our next matchup in the East is the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the New York Rangers. Looks like the Pittsburgh Penguins are moving on to the conference finals to take on the Maple Leafs. Let's see this. Okay. So our conference finals matchups in the Western Conference are the LA Kings versus the Minnesota Wild and the Calgary Flames versus the Edmonton Oilers. Our first matchup is obviously LA and Minnesota. Who will win? Looks like the Minnesota Wild are moving on to the conference finals. There we go. I'll put them right there. Okay. So our last matchup in the Western Conference is the Calgary Flames versus the Edmonton Oilers. Battle of Alberta. Come on, Calgary. It looks like the Calgary Flames are moving on to the conference finals to take on the Minnesota Wild. So we got our conference finals matchups in the Maple Leafs taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Minnesota Wild taking on the Calgary Flames. 2 Canadian teams, 2 American teams. Let's see who wins this first matchup in the East. The Toronto Maple Leafs or the Pittsburgh Penguins. A big trade obviously happened in the summer, sending Phil Kessel over to Pittsburgh. Let's see if the Maple Leafs get the final laugh. It looks like the Maple Leafs are moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals. Damn. Never see the day that happened. Okay, so put them right there. And our next matchup is the Western Conference Finals with the Flames taking on the Minnesota Wild. Or Wild taking on the Flames. Who will win? And the Minnesota Wild are moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals. Oh my god. This is big. This is big. Well, since... how am I going to do this? I say best of 3. Or best of 4, sorry. Let's try it. So... First... Minnesota takes game 1. So Minnesota's up 1-0. Toronto takes game 2. 1-1 series. It's tied. Minnesota takes game 3. 2-1 series. Minnesota takes game 4. 3-1 series. They can put it away here. The Toronto Maple Leafs take game 5. 3-2 series. God damn it. The Minnesota Wild have won the NHL bracket. So obviously I'll be taking on the Minnesota Wild as my team in NHL 16. I want to take on the Maple Leafs just because they have somewhat of a struggle, but I'm taking on Minnesota. So obviously we have Devin Dubnyk, Zach Parise, Ryan Suter, whole bunch of studs. A lot of rookies too, like Charlie Coyle. Oh, former rookies, young players. Charlie Coyle, a few other kids, I don't know. But that was my team selection video, so make sure to like and subscribe for the NHL 16 Minnesota Wild GM mode. I'm still used to NBA my GM mode, but we'll see how this goes. I haven't done any GM modes other than that Hurricanes GM mode this year, so this is going to be tough. I haven't done anything, so it's going to be tough. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.